This week, the HPT is in our Rocky Mountain home in Black Hawk, Colorado at the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor. Over the years, this event has grown into the HPT's premier stop. Attendance and prize pool records have been set and broken many times over by this 20-table poker room. And this week, they topped themselves again. 820 players ascended to this mountainous paradise and built a prize pool worth $1.2 million. Thousands of hands have been logged, and now the 820-player field is down to the Elite Six. Life-changing money, HPT history, and the honor of being an HPT champion awaits the last man standing.
I've never made a final table before. This would be my first major cash.
Second time in Heartland tournament, and the first time I was out the first day.
Haven't really played for a while until I moved out here, which was about 6 months ago.
I got into the main event twice. Once I bought in, once I won a satellite. I've never gotten past day one. I've always lasted 2 or 3 hours, and this is obviously the furthest I've ever gone, and it's been pretty exciting. I've been very, very, very lucky.
They come from all walks of life, each with a story to tell. All they need is a chip and a chair. It's an open casting call for those who love the game. This ain't your weekend home game. This is the HPT.
Sit right down, put on your poker face, you with the big dogs now. Better bring your best game, talk trash all you want. To me it's all the same, you won't leave with much when you come in second place. And I'm the one with the stack, showing 7 to the jack. Gon' cry to your mama, cause I'm sending you back. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. Last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand.
Hello and welcome to the HPT. We are at Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor in Black Hawk, Colorado, just outside of Denver. I'm Chris Hansen, and he is Fred Bevel.
You know, we've had a lot of great fields and a lot of huge prize pools over the years here in Black Hawk, but nothing like this. 820 players entered this event, creating a prize pool worth over $1.2 million. Players from all over the country have come to this little mining town in search for the golden first place prize of over $270,000. And now that the other 814 players are out of the way, the final 6 are starting to feel the pressure of making that last run to the championship.
Every decision these players make from here on out literally worth thousands of dollars, and as players are eliminated, that pressure builds even more as we get closer to crowning a champion. They've been playing together long enough to know each other's game. So Fred, what's the key to victory tonight at our final table?
Well, you know, with the new HPT structure, most of these players are sitting down with pretty deep stacks. Even the short stack is starting out 6-handed here with 25 big blinds. So for me, the keys are patience and aggression. Try not to think about the money or the cameras. Just sit tight and wait for the right moments and pounce when they come.
Everyone here at the Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor is excited to see how this is going to play out. So let's not keep them waiting any longer. Let's meet half of this final table and then get right to the action.
My name's Wes Myers. I'm from Johnstown, Colorado.
My name is Steen Ronlove. I live in Westminster, Colorado.
My name is Mike Bonetto. I'm from Buffalo, New York.
Buy and sell livestock. I've been doing it for 35 years. I just spend the day buying and selling livestock, either at an auction or private treaty.
Well, I started off as a mining engineer and didn't like working for someone, so I worked for myself on and off most of my life.
I wouldn't say I'm an aspiring pro. If there's a big tournament near me, I definitely like to play in it, and when I'm playing, I'm serious about it, but other than that, it's not a huge part of my life.
There's half of our final table. We'll meet the rest of the rounders a little bit later on. But Fred, let's take a look at how we divvied up the largest prize pool ever in HPT history.
Almost $271,000 going to the next HPT champion. Everybody is guaranteed almost $50,000 for outlasting over 800 players.
Unbelievable. Let's take a look at the starting chip count for tonight. Our chip leader is Steen. He's got 28% of the chips in play, and all the way down to Frank, but still with 1.49 million chips as the short stack. Blinds at 30 and 60,000 with a 10K ante. There's nothing to worry about.
Everybody is deep right now. No one's in the panic mode yet. This is Steen Ronlov. He wakes up with ace 10 of clubs.
Chip leader announces a raise.
Steen originally from Copenhagen, Denmark.
I believe it's Copenhagen.
Is it? All right. He's retired. Right now he lives in Westminster, Colorado.
175,000 is the bet. Mike folds over to Logan. He folds to Frank.
Frank Pfeiffer. 30-plus years as a fish and wildlife biologist, recently retired.
Frank folds. Michael quickly folds behind him, and now Wes in the big blind with King Queen.
Wes is self-employed, originally from Tribune, Kansas. Right now lives in Johnstown, Colorado. He makes the call. Looks like we're going to go to the flop. Heads up.
And here comes our first flop of this final table. It is deuce 6 jack with 2 diamonds.
Well, right now, ace 10 is still the best. Wes has picked up the second nut flush draw. And Wes is going to semi-bluff his draw. Looks like he's going to fire 340,000. That's a good bet.
Makes ace 10 look awfully terrible, and he folds it. And so Wes is going to win our very first hand at this HPT event, which set yet another record. 2 events in a row here in the state of Colorado. Fred, we're going to have to put on expansion out the sidewall here to fit in more players for the next time we come back to Golden Gates. The people here in the Blackhawk, Denver area love the HPT, and we love them for it.
A 20-table poker room hosted 820 players in our main event this week.
Unbelievable.
4 day 1 flights, 1 day 2, and here we are with our final 6. Logan is going to limp in with Jack 10 offsuit.
And now we've been folded around to Wes.
Wes has the button with 9-4 offsuit.
That's going to get folded. Now to Steen. Steen announces a raise out of the small blind with King Queen.
Attaboy. That's how you play King Queen.
260 total is the raise. Over to Mike.
Mike, no stranger to the HPT, has played in several events. Has won a total of $63,000 in his time with us.
Very nice. Making his first final table appearance also is Logan, and he's going to make the call. Now, Logan Knight, actually not his name. His real name is Julian, but he has a poker alias. Mine, Sir Mix-a-Lot. Here comes the flop. It is ace 3-9 with a couple of clubs.
Well, both players missed this flop. Steen is ahead with mom and dad, and it looks like he's going to bet it.
Steen bets 350,000 over to Logan.
And Logan with simply jack high here, no pair, no draw. Quickly into the muck, and Steen starting off on a roll.
More poker when we come back to the beautiful Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor next. Welcome back to the HPT from the place to play poker in the state of Colorado. We're at Golden Gates Casino and Poker Parlor in Blackhawk.
We've had the pleasure of meeting the first half of tonight's talented final table. Let's meet the rest of these players and get right back to the action.
My name is Frank Pfeiffer. I was born and raised in North Dakota, but I've been living in Grand Junction, Colorado for the last 23 years. I'm a retired fish and wildlife biologist.
My name is Michael McLeod. I'm actually a bank manager. I lived in a small resort community called Telluride, Colorado. I just moved here to Denver.
My name is Logan Knight. I live in Farmington, New Mexico. I own a insurance restoration firm.
Well, on the job, I spent a lot of time outdoors. We did a lot of rafting in all the rivers in the west that are tributaries to the Colorado River, doing fish surveys and putting radio transmitters in and then following their movements. And so it was a lot of outside work and a lot of strenuous stuff, but it was a lot of fun. And now that I'm retired, I can pretty much do what I want, so I still enjoy some fishing and get outdoors, do a lot of hunting. I like the outdoors.
Being a bank manager has a lot to do with poker. I mean, you know, I got into banking to help people. And when the economy was booming, it was a really great thing. Unfortunately, things have tightened up and people have had to make changes. strategizing to help them financially, dealing with the stress, being very patient. It goes really hand in hand with poker. So it goes a lot along the same lines. So it's pretty cool.
With insurance restoration work, we go in after traumatic events like fire and flood and restore both residential and commercial businesses. I was very strong in my professional occupation already. My experience playing poker has really amplified my business life. It has taught me how to get a read on my competition, and it has taught me how to treat my clients with a better level of respect.
Well, there's a little bit more about Wes, Steen, and Mike, but Fred, here is what the players are worried about. It is their chip count.
Steen has widened his chip lead. He's sitting with over 5 million now. You can see 99 big blinds in his stack, but even the short stack still sitting with 24 big blinds. Everybody with plenty of room to play.
Back to the felt as we're giving away $270,000 for first place here tonight on the HPT. Pocket tens. This is the first time we've seen Michael, and he's going to limp in with his pocket pair.
Michael is a bank branch manager, originally from Rolla, North Dakota, our neck of the woods, right now, living in Colorado.
Rolla, North Dakota, right on the Canadian border. I can tell you that much in North Dakota.
I can see why he moved to Colorado.
Apologies to our viewers in North Dakota. All right, 3 players are going to see this flop together. And here we go. The flop is 8-3-5 with a couple of hearts.
Well, Michael's still ahead with his wire tens. Frank has caught a piece of this. He's hit top pair with the 8. Logan with just king high right now is looking like he's about to make a bet.
175K is the bet from Logan. And now to Frank in seat 2.
Frank Pfeiffer enjoying his retirement and 10 grandkids. Whew. Christmas is busy at that man's house.
Frank calls with his top pair, but now over to Michael, who limped in with pocket tens. I expect him to try to trim the fat here and get rid of one of these 2 players with the raise.
Well, he is sitting with an overpair to the board. He's got what he's wanted. And he did announce the raise. Makes it $675,000.
I'm guessing that'll probably get rid of Logan.
Logan with just king high has no reason to stick around. Big bet here by Michael. He overbet the pot. And Logan pretending to have a decision. The real question is Frank with top pair, top kicker. Hopefully he can avoid some trouble here.
Nice race.
Both Logan and Frank are trying to figure out what exactly Michael has up his sleeve here. He limps under the gun, and all of a sudden he's firing out 500,000 chips.
A moment ago, Michael said to Frank, no shame in folding. That might make Frank want to call even more with top.
Michael, a bank branch manager, and I would say fits the role, at least the way he dresses.
Frank is going to fold.
Show us the bluff. We're going to see it.
You guys know I'm so tight. It hurts. You guys know that.
Okay.
Inside joke between these players, Michael was hyper aggressive when we were on the bubble to this final 6.
So you're telling me he might have been setting up an image for this final table?
Well, it didn't work. He didn't get paid off with Frank and top. Good for Frank on that fold. Action now on Steen Ronloff.
Steen's raising with King Jack. He is the chip leader at this final table.
260 total.
He's going to make it 260 total with King Jack. And Mike Bonetto is going to flat call with ace-queen. A lot of players would have re-raised here with ace-queen.
Back to Logan.
Logan's actual name is Julian. Prefers to go by Logan when he's around the poker circles. I think Julian's kind of a cool name.
Why don't you turn your poker alias into Julian? That'd be brilliant.
It'd be hard to overcome the donkey that everybody already calls me.
You're right. You do have a pretty established nickname already. Logan calls with pocket eights. And so all kinds of people getting involved here. Action's on Michael with King 7 in the big blind, and he's legitimately thinking this over.
Well, Michael kind of raised his hands like, well, what am I supposed to do? He's priced in to see a flop here.
Save him. Why are you giving him back?
He is going to go ahead and call with King 7.
Normally I would call that loose, but Fred, in this situation, let's go ahead and see a flop four-handed.
Walmart prices like that, it's tough to fold King 7 here.
So 4 players will see the flop together. Here we go. It's 3, 10, 6 with 2 diamonds.
You'd think 4 players going to the flop, one of them would hit something, but everybody has missed. Right now, Logan the best with pocket 8s, and he has announced a bet.
Action has been checked to Logan on the button.
Over 1.1 million in the pot right now. And Logan is going to bet about half of that.
$575K, the bet from Logan. Michael folds over to Steen. He folds. Mike with ace-queen. And Mike is going to fold, and look at that. Pocket 8s for Logan up against 3 other players, and he's the one scooping the chips in the end. More poker on the HPT when we come back. What a great week on the HPT, our biggest prize pool ever. Let's find out what the players at our final table think about the HPT.
I got into the main event twice. Once I bought in, once I won a satellite. Never gotten past day 1. I've always lasted 2 or 3 hours and go home or come out and play a cash game or something. So this is obviously the furthest I've ever gone, and it's been pretty exciting. I've been very, very, very lucky. I hit an inside straight flush to survive in the middle of day 2.
I've had a really good time. I really like the fact that they changed the structure to kind of let you play more with your chips. All the people have been great, and I've had a good time.
You know, it's cool. The Heartland's just great because, you know, I got it on a satellite. You know, I came out here at $350. I was, and you get enough chips to kind of play. And so it was great. I mean, they kind of run a nice tight chip here. So, you know, I qualified there. I got, you know, they break up the flights really nice, you know, and you kind of always know where you stand, stuff like that. And so it gives you a chance. It gives you a fighting chance instead of coming and dropping 2K. It gives a small guy a chance to make life-changing money, which is very cool.
Oh, I think the experience here has been great. This is a class act. It's a very well-run tournament. It's certainly a lot better than the home game I play in. I play with a bunch of spuds back there, so this is a lot better.
Lot of pressure playing for $270,000 tonight here on the HPT. Let's take a look at the updated chip counts.
Steen still the chip leader, but that lead has narrowed. Logan with now over 4.5 million in chips. A couple of stacks over 3 million. Everybody's still pretty deep except Frank. He's sitting with under 20 big blinds. He's going to need to catch some momentum quick.
And we get back to the final table where blinds remained at 30 and 60,000 with a 10K ante from Blackhawk, Colorado, just outside of Denver, Colorado.
Steen Ronlov is going to limp in with Jack 10.
It seems like just yesterday the big bet here in Colorado was $5. Now it's $100, and that brought 2,275 players to our qualifiers this week. Unbelievable.
Only a couple of years ago did they raise the betting limits from $5 to $100. Everybody happy about that.
All right, Mike is re-raised to $175,000. And action's coming now back to Steen, who originally limped in this pot under the gun. And it looks like he's going to make the call. And here comes the flop. It is 8-9 queen rainbow.
Jack 10 looks great right now. I questioned Steen making the call a second ago, but he's flopped the nuts.
Well, especially when your competitor just hit top pair, top kicker, which he bets $300,000.
And Steen, no reason to raise here, but he's gonna anyway. He's gonna min raise it to $300,000 from Mike to call.
I'm with you, Fred. No reason there to get the feathers all ruffled up on Mike. But Mike does make the call. So Steen's going to be first to act when we see the turn. It's a 4 of spades.
A harmless 4, and now Steen is going to lead out $1.8 million. It's almost like Steen has him on ace-queen and thinks he's going to commit all his chips with top-top. Personally, I probably would have slow played this a little bit more if I was in Steen's spot, being out of position with the nuts.
I think the mistake might have been Steen making that min raise, because now even if he checks here on the turn, odds are Mike's going to check right behind him.
Can you show me this one?
Well, credit to Mike Bonetto right now in the 6th seed. He's sitting with top pair, top kicker. A lot of players would have just auto-called right now or auto-shoved.
It just goes to show, Fred, that sometimes the min raise is the scariest raise that there is.
That's true.
A lot of people make fun of it, but I tell you what, nothing will get you questioning what's going on like a min raise.
Well, it looks like the way Mike is staging his chips at top just might be too tempting.
First person to leave our final table tonight walks with just over $49,000 in cash, and a big jump up to 5th place at $63,000. And Mike is going to keep his chips right where they are. Steen does show that he flopped the nuts.
And you see Mike giving the fist pump that he made a great laydown. Very nice read, sir.
A lot of times players don't get too excited about losing a hand there, but Mike actually seemed like he was impressed with himself for making the laydown, and he did make the right play. All right, blinds are up 1480K with a 10K ante. And Mike's going to fold over to Logan.
Logan with 4-9, quickly into the muck. This is Frank Pfeiffer. He's going to fold.
Over to Michael.
220.
Michael McLeod raises it up to $220,000 with Jack-6. But more important, the button.
And Wes makes the call.
And now action moves over to Steen. And Steen is sitting with ace-8. And he's going to let it go.
So we're heads up here with Michael and Wes. And here comes our next flop. It's deuce 310 rainbow.
Wes still ahead here with just king high. And one thing Wes is not afraid to do is bet. He's going to put the pressure on Michael here, and I can't see Michael continuing on in this hand. $400,000 is the decision he'll be on.
Sure, odds are that flop probably absolutely missed the pre-flop raiser. Wes probably giving Michael more credit than Jack-6.
And look at Michael raising it right here with Jack-6. Not believing Wes for a second.
That's it, Fred. The next time that I'm at his bank, I'm definitely taking that pen off of the leash and taking it home with me.
Well, Wes really now has the screws to him. $650,000 to call with king high. And yeah, that's going into the muck. Let's see if Michael shows it.
And with that, Wes is going to lay down the best hand. Aggression is rewarded at this final table, and we've got plenty more poker to come from Blackhawk, Colorado when we return. Welcome back to the HPT with Fred Bevel. I'm Chris Hansen. More poker in a minute, but now it's time to get a little better at your home game. And who else to get tips from than 11-time World Series of Poker bracelet winner Phil Hellmuth. Tonight, Phil's going to talk about his favorite move at the poker table and how you can put it into your game.
What is my favorite move in poker? Undoubtedly raising someone or re-raising someone just because I know they're weak. It could be a situation where I have an ace and a 3 and they've raised it and I just, something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. You know, I'm sensing it, I'm feeling it. I make a re-raise and I just win the chips. It's even better if they re-raise me again. So they make it 2 bets, I 3 bet it, they 4 bet it, and I'm like, something's wrong, I'm going all in, boom. When you can get the last move in a hand that you think is the best hand, or you just know they can't call, that is my favorite situation in poker. Because you're picking up free chips just because you have a great reading ability. So my favorite move in poker, raising, re-raising, getting the last move in with a weak hand that you think is best, or with a bluff. Bring it.
You know, Fred, I also have a favorite move at the poker table. It's the one where I open up my wallet and say, checks on 3, please. Checks on 3.
It's not the most favorite move, it's just the most frequent move. Steen still the chip leader with almost $6.5 million in chips. Logan staying where he's been at $4.5 million. Right now, Frank not alone at the bottom of the stacks. Mike joins him with just 18 big blinds. Mike has lost almost $800,000 since we last checked in. Blinds continuing on at $40,000 and $80,000 with a $10,000 chip ante.
Logan is first to the muck, and now to the short stack. Frank, ace-4 of diamonds. Before, he might have been in survival mode, but Fred, is he now thinking, wait a second, I got another short stack joining me at the table. I got to make sure that I don't go out before he does.
He is going to raise it up with ace-4. About $17,000 between 6th and 5th place. Steen going to make the call with ace-10 suited.
Mike, who is now the other short stack at this final table, will fold, and so it's going to be Frank and his ace-4 of diamonds versus Steen and his ace-10 of spades. This is big stack versus short stack poker, and here is the flop. It is 9, 4, 10, and Frank, it's been nice knowing you. Have a good day.
Both players catch a piece of this. Steen with top pair, Frank with bottom pair, and Steen's going to shove, and my partner to my right believes that this will be Frank's last stand.
I didn't check raise.
Well, if Frank can survive this one, making a pair on the flop, it would be miraculous. And he's going to do it. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought for sure that Frank hitting that flop would have got all of his chips in the middle and that the big stack was just going to try to push him around, but apparently I was wrong. So Frank lives on.
Steen nice enough to show him that he had the 10 early. We saw Steen show Mike Bonetto in the 6th seat the nut straight. Steen trying to make some Facebook friends here at this final table.
All right, back to Frank. Queen, Jack of clubs.
Oh, it looks pretty, Frank, but beware. They never listen. He's going to raise it to $200,000. That's going to get rid of Michael. Wes also folds. Now we're on Steen.
And it looks like Steen is going to call with ace-4 of clubs. And now the other short stack's getting involved. King 7 of diamonds for Mike, and now over to Logan with Queen 10.
Logan in the big blind here. Not that much to call to see a flop.
Can I get my cards back, please?
Yes.
Michael regretting his earlier fold.
I vote that he gets his cards back.
So 4 of the 6 players at this final table will once again see a flop together.
And Frank Pfeiffer, he's the one that started all of this with Queen Jack of clubs. Let's see if he can hit the flop.
Our chip leader Steen is ahead with ace high as we go to the flop. Here we go. The flop is 8, 9, Jack.
Great flop for Logan Knight. He has flopped the nuts. Frank Pfeiffer has top pair and a gut shot straight draw. Steen and Mike just spectators right now with cards.
Logan was the last man into the pool, and Fred, he's already swam to the other end. Look at this. He flopped the straight, and he has checked. Frank is putting his chips in the middle with top pair.
And I suspect Mike is going to fold. He does, and Logan's going to make the easy call, and Frank is going to discover he needs a lot of help.
Yeah, Fred, he just has to go like the most perfect of everything to make a winning hand. Better odds that they might chop this pot.
Well, a 10 would give him the chop. The impossible running cards for a boat or quads are the other option.
Here comes the turn. It's a 5 of diamonds, and so now there is no more win possibility for Frank. Just an 8% chance to chop this. Otherwise, he'll be eliminated first. And the river is an ace. That's going to do it. Frank came to this table as the short stack and is the first to go home. Our short stack, Frank Pfeiffer, leaves in 6 with a lot of money in his pocket. Let's go down to the floor.
This caliber of play here was outstanding. It's way better than I'm used to. I play in a home game back in Grand Junction with a bunch of spuds that really don't know what they're doing. So, and maybe I looked like that today and I didn't know what I was doing. But well, I think I played pretty well throughout the tournament. I'm happy to be here. I'm certainly happy with 6th place. I mean, everybody likes to win, but I'm happy with my performance. And overall, it's been a great tournament.
Thank you very much, Frank. And, well, Frank's departure means more money for everybody else. Everyone just got a $14,000 pay raise as we go over $200,000 for first place tonight on the HPT. More poker when we return. Welcome back to the HPT, where we are five-handed at our final table.
You know, each elimination brings us closer to a champion, but it also makes those calls and raises have the heartbeat out of your chest. I don't know how these guys do it. Let's get back to the felt.
Now that we've had our first elimination, let's take a look at the chip counts. Steen and Logan are at the top, and now with Frank's departure, it is Mike, who is our short stack with just 15 big blinds in play.
Mike has lost $300,000 since we last checked in with him. He is going to need to make a move quick to get back into contention at this final table. Blinds continue at 40 and 80,000 with a 10,000 chip ante.
But if you're Mike, the loss that you're happy about is Frank going out in 6th place. You just earned an extra $17,000. Action is going to start on Wes. 3-4 offsuit to the muck. Over to Steen.
Michael.
He's going to limp in right now with 8-9 of diamonds.
I know you're going to raise, so I thought I'd
Whoa,
give you
your mind tricks already, Steve.
And Mike folds over to Logan.
Always. Or maybe I'm trying to just get you to think that I'm trying to get you to raise me.
Oh, the old I want you to think what I'm thinking that you're thinking trick.
I know you are, but what am I trick? 4th level stuff right there.
Logan raises with ace-king. 375,000 is the bet.
Michael quickly folds, and now we're right back to Steen with his suited connectors.
Oh, yes, sir.
I wish you had called, then I definitely could call.
Fold by Michael and Teresa. We're on Steen now. After the raise, we're on Steen in 5. Oh.
And Steen is going to see a flop with the suited connectors. Big pot brewing heads up here.
These are the two big stacks at our table doing battle. The flop is ace-5-4.
Good flop for Logan Knight. He has flopped top pair. Steen Ronlov is just sitting with 9 high. Let's see if Logan fires a continuation bet. 2 clubs on the board, not the best texture. Over $500,000 is the bet, and Steen quickly folds.
I noticed that Logan has a very nice HPT logoed shirt on. Fred, that looks like a shirt you used to own. You weren't playing cash games again with Logan, were you?
Cat's out of the bag, and once again, I have lost my shirt in Colorado.
This time, almost quite literally.
Actually, very literally. That is my shirt that Logan is wearing. He was wearing a non-TV friendly shirt. He was stuck in a bind. I went to my room, grabbed my shirt. He didn't mind that it wasn't even washed.
Look at you, making friends at these final tables. The first ever person to wear a piece of our clothing, as in Fred and I's, at a final table. Michael limps in with Queen Jack of Hearts.
Action now on Wes. And he is going to check his option with 8-6.
Kind of wondering why Michael didn't raise out of the small blind. Are you asking for trouble? The flop is 9-6 Jack. Maybe that's the kind of trouble that Michael was hoping Wes would get himself into. Michael's first.
Wes has got bottom pair here. Michael's got top pair. Michael's going to bet $200,000. Wes quickly calls.
Okay, so now Michael's thinking, well, Wes definitely caught some of this. How much of it did he get is the question. Here comes the turn. It is an 8 of hearts. And there's the trouble that you get into when you don't raise pre-flop.
Wes is now sitting with 2 pair, and Michael with top pair could find himself in a lot of trouble here. Michael's going to bet big, $450,000. Chris, I'm going to speculate that Michael's trying to get Wes off a diamond draw, trying to price him out here, but in fact, he's betting into the winning hand. Might as well be throwing money in the paper shredder.
Wes announces a raise.
A min raise from Wes, and now we are sitting on just under $2 million in this pot. And Michael is sitting on top pair with a queen kicker.
Yeah, it's not even top pair, top kicker here for Michael.
Well, that's what I had Michael thinking, that Wes was on a flush draw.
You just min raise me? Wow, that smells like a fresh straw.
Poker factoid, Chris Hansen. 2 pair, the most commonly won hand in the game of poker.
Another poker tidbit, a sure way to get yourself into a lot of trouble at the final table. Don't raise the big blind when you're the small blind holding Queen Jack of Hearts.
You popped from me last night with the flush draw. Dirty guy.
Very good.
Cool.
You gotta love the HPT. 2 million chips in the pot, 270,000 on the line. They're gonna have a good chuckle right before Michael makes the call here.
All right, so this pot is getting mega sized. 2.4 million chips in the middle.
Michael might think he's ahead, but he's gonna need to find a queen, a jack, or a 10 on the river, or he'll continue to bet the loser.
And the river is a 10, but it's the 10 of diamonds, so that gives Michael the straight. But exactly, Michael's speculating that you might have hit the flush. Michael checks. Wes does check. Mike shows that he got lucky, hit the gutter ball on the river.
Boy, I wonder if Wes makes a bet on the river there, if he can get Michael to fold that straight.
I think the only bet that would have been big enough would have been an all-in move from Wes. But Michael is going to be better than lucky than good in this hand, being ahead pre-flop and on the flop, falling behind big time on the turn, but pulling the cat out of the bag on the river.
Now Wes wakes up with wired 7s. Let's see if he's got some steam coming out of the ears after being rivered on the last hand. Makes it 285. I like that bet.
And now back to Steen with Queen 10. The chip leader is retired from Westminster, Colorado. Got his wife Cindy in the audience watching him today. 9-10 for Mike. That goes to the muck. Now over to Logan.
Logan with King 10. This is one of those hands that look tempting to play, but probably be wiser to lay it down in normal situations.
But C1 Logan is going to call. And he's going to have a couple of overcards to Wes's pocket 7s. And here comes the flop. It's 6-8 ace.
That ace is probably going to be an action killer. Logan checks. Let's see if Wes takes his 7s out for a stroll. Looks like he's gonna, staging some chips there. And Wes is gonna bet his wired paired, makes it 400,000.
Logan, who is right now second in chips, I don't think he wants to slide any further behind Steen than he already is.
What do you got behind? About 1,060,000.
Logan getting a chip inventory from Wes here with just king high. I wonder if Logan is thinking about making a move.
Nice ace, sir.
Nope, he simply was just having more time for us to admire his orange hat. More poker when we come back to our final table for $270,000 next on the HPT. A lot of the champions here at Golden Gates also travel very well. We see them out on the road with the HPT.
We might see a few of these guys as well. Logan is now the chip leader with 6.4 million. Steen not far behind him, and Michael with over 5 million. We got a tight race for the next HPT champion. We can see Logan has gained over 500,000 in chips since we last checked in.
All right, let's get back to our final table where our short stack is all in. Mike with ace-4 versus pocket kings for Michael. And here we go. The flop is queen 9-6. Mike still behind. And here comes the turn. It's a 5.
Pair the board, sir.
Mike hoping for an ace on the river to stay alive at this final table.
And here we go. The river is a jack, and that's going to do it. Mike Bonetto leaves the HPT with just over $63,000 in cash. Let's find out what he thought about his play tonight on the HPT.
I think I made a good lay down. The big hand that I was in, I hit top pair, ace high, ace queen, and Steen flopped a straight on me. You know, I was thinking about calling that all in, but I laid that down, so I feel good about that. But then I was short stacked, and there's not much I could do. basically picked up an ace. I was getting low on chips. I figured I had to make a move sooner or later, and just got unlucky. He picked up kings in the blind. What are you gonna do?
Mike's elimination now leaves us with 4 players left at our final table.
Ooh, and that prize money is starting to reach the life-changing amount we love to see on the HPT, but I really don't think these guys should be thinking about the money. Right now, they're short-handed, four-handed. Let's see who opens up their game and really starts to make a run at this championship.
Back to the felt now, 4-handed blind, still at 40 and 80,000 with a 10K ante. All right, let's get an update on the dollar amounts now. $80,000 for 4th place tonight on the HPT. This was a record prize pool for the HPT. $1.25 million prize pool.
Amazing. 820 players sat down in this main event over 4 day 1 flights. And this is the cream of the crop. These were the final 6 that survived it, and they are getting paid for their efforts tonight. Wes is going to limp in with 9-7 offsuit.
And Steen raises with pocket queens. So back to Wes in the small blind.
And Wes is going to make the call with his rags. Steen, fortunate enough to be in the big blind. That raise looks like a steal. Let's see if Wes tries to make a move here on the flop.
Flop is 7-6 deuce. Wes pairs is 7.
Unfortunate for Wes, it is top pair with a 9 kicker.
Oh boy, the cap has come off the cards. It's going on top of the chips, and sure enough, the bet is coming, 450,000.
And Steen has gone all in, and now Wes, his tournament life will depend on a call or a fold here.
And we go back to the 4th seat.
An overpair.
You're right, Wes. Go with your read.
Steen has been showing quality hands. There's no reason to believe that he would deviate from that action at the final table here.
He's shown the straight. He's shown the top pairs.
We're on mics. I can't talk.
Well, Wes put him on the hand that he is, in fact, holding.
Show me.
Let's see if he can get away from top pair. He does. Very nice fold, and Steen does oblige. Shows him the overpair.
And Wes Myers is going to make the laydown, and the correct laydown. And look at this. Steen is just battling back to getting that chip lead.
Right there. I was in between you guys.
Yeah.
Action this hand will start with Wes.
Thank you. I thought I threw it. And it kind of,
Jack 8.
I'll be more careful.
Okay. All right, once again, first
And that is folded over to Steen.
And Wes folds in the 4th suit. Back over to Steen in the 5 on the button. Still on the block.
Steen is going to limp in
US.
with 10-7 suited. Over to Logan. Logan folds. And Michael is going to check his option.
Where's your raise?
I'm out of position. What am I going to do?
Michael, the 37-year-old bank branch manager, and Steen, the 67-year-old retiree, seeing this flop together. Flop is 7, king, queen.
Both players catch some of this. Michael's got top pair. Steen's got bottom pair.
Goat me? I call.
Steen bets 200. Michael makes the ho-hum call with top pair.
Flush draw?
Absolutely. Monster.
A table full of amateurs, all going after the biggest prize we've seen this season on the HPT of $270,000. The turn is a 6, and Michael checks.
Michael checks 2 pair now, and Steen slows down. He's going to check behind.
And the river, it's an 8 of spades.
And Michael, with the best hand, kings up,
You too.
is going to try to get some value. Oh, he's going to see if Steen does the bidding for him.
I got 2 pair.
Really?
Why would you bet that?
Wow. He has kings and 6s.
You got to bet that, sir.
Why don't you bet your own hand?
I want to see. Can I see that?
I have 1 pair.
You weren't calling anyway, were you? If I bet there, you weren't.
200 I might call. 'Cause I have a pair.
Steve, can I
It
see
was
it?
the biggest tournament in HPT history. The most players, the biggest prize pool, and Fred, maybe a letdown. We thought maybe it was coming with the final table with all that excitement, but boy, these guys haven't disappointed.
No, it's been a fun final table to watch, and no one wants to fall short of the championship after going this deep in a field this size, but unfortunately, that is how the game is played. Frank Pfeiffer started this final table as the short stack with just a little over $1.5 million in chips. He put his tournament life on the line after flopping top pair, but ran right into Logan Knight's flop straight. After the river fell, Frank went to the cage to collect almost $50,000.
And leaving us in 5th place was Mike Bonetto. Mike was also in that big hand that eliminated Frank and was down to just a couple $100,000 in chips. Mike woke up with a little ace on the button, said, "This is it, let's do it," got them all in, only to run into Michael McLeod's wired kings. No ace came on the board for Mike, and that sent him home with almost $65,000 in cash.
And now that we are down to 4, these guys are going to have to walk that fine line between aggression and catastrophe.
Find out who takes down this massive tournament next time on the HPT. Now, do you think you've got what it takes to sit at our final table and walk away with unreal cash? Well, log on to hptpoker.com to find out about our upcoming events that anyone can play in and win. For James Larson and Fred Bevel, I'm Chris Hansen. We'll see you next time right here on the HPT.